Welcome, welcome, welcome. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's getting weird out there in the streets. As I told you, I don't go live unless I got something new to talk about. So we have something to talk about, and we actually have the policy that was sent to me via email. I was able to go through it and see why Shannon Sharpe is taking this leave of absence. Okay, the ESPN policy that's in his contract, I have it. So we're going to find out all of that right now while you're here. But Shannon Sharpe really went off when people were talking about his dating choices. Listen.
Everybody always talk about date your age, date your age. Well, I want to date my wage. I'm finna shut all this ish down tonight. I want to date my wage.
Stay right here. Stay right.
Where y'all at? Hey, chat, where they at?
Hold on. Because you know I keep it on me now.
Yeah.
I keep it on me. You want to date your what?
I want to date my wage. Not my age. I want to date my wage. So where are they? Because y'all always talking about date your age, date your age. I want to date my wage. So come on with it. As a matter of fact, I'm taking applicants as we speak.
Well, you talking spicy tonight, boy.
Hi, I'm Carcina.
Everybody always talk about date.
Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Welcome. Now, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. As we have a lot of ground to cover. Flexing behind the money is a defense. Well, a lot of people felt that Shannon Sharpe arrogance was starting to change with the success of the Cat Williams interview and things of that nature. He started to change. And they started to see a different Shannon Sharpe than what the rest of the people were seeing. Absolutely. So when he was saying he dates his wage, not his age, how much money do you think that little girl got? That 19, 21, 22-year-old, that's your wage? That ain't dating your wage. That was your wage. She wouldn't be asking you for no goddamn $50 million. Now, date your wage, date your wage, date your wage. No, those scenarios are changing for these purposes and these reasons only. Because before, they weren't saying anything about none of this. $500 maybe. Exactly. Now, all of this was being brought to the light. Everybody else was just staying quiet. Nobody really said anything. We'll talk about Shaq and that nonsense with the Shaq set him up and all of these different things. We'll get into that. So everybody was Shaq set him up. And that thing is going viral now, but it was sent to me earlier, then I played it for you guys, and from there it just went, everybody started getting it because they sent it out to everybody. Now, Shannon Sharpe doubled down some more. Shannon Sharpe was very, very calculative when it comes to these decision-making avenues he was taking. And he doubles down on relationships. And they'll be using a lot of his videos if this thing goes to trial.
Come on,
She
man.
says she needs $60 for waxing. She needs between $75 and $130 for her nail and toes. She needs between $80 and $400 for her hair. She needs between $60 and $150 for facial. She needs between $12 and $30 for her brows. She needs between $80 and $120 for her lashes. She say, guys, that $100 y'all trying to send, that ain't good enough, sir.
Now you see when I was in college why I took cosmetology classes. Now you see why I took classes to be an esthetician. Now you see why I took classes to be able to do manicures and pedicures. Now you see why I learned how to do installs and color wigs and braid. That's ridiculous. Because if you add up, tell Ash, do me a favor. Tell Ash to tell me how much that is right there real quick. But if you think about it,
okay, we're going to do the high end. 190, 190, 590, 740, 770, 890. That's about that's almost $1,000 a month.
So think about that.
$1,000 a month to be in a relationship. No, Chad is cheap. Ocho Cinco is cheap. He's Ocho Cheapo. Now, he ain't gonna spend a dime. Now, all of this stuff will be used when they go to break all that down. So if you in a relationship, that's what they expected you to come with that bread.
You know.
What about I don't need no man. I make my own money. Hold on.
Well, hold on. The ones that if they make their own money, if they make their own money, then this wouldn't be an issue because this is part of your own maintenance. This is part of your own upkeep. This is the basic necessities to survive and look good. This ain't nothing but fucking hygiene. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. This ain't nothing but hygiene. Hygiene. That's all it is.
I ain't got no problem with it. You know, hey, let me see what I got. Let me see what I got right here.
Oh, you gonna pay for it?
I'm gonna get that thing waxed.
Oh, you gonna keep
I don't want you to look like you got buck weak in the leg lock. You know, you a thing got an afro. I need you to fade it up, trim it up, you know, get a Fu Manchu or something.
Listen, you get a set of razors from Walgreens or CVS.
Nah, man, that thing be looking like Nestle Crunch down there, man. Come on, Ocho.
You gotta go at the grain of the hell. You gotta go at the grain of the hell.
Nah, go get that thing. Go get the sugar. Go get the sugar. I got you. I got that, Ocho. I need hardwood floors. I don't need no carpet.
I understand what you're talking.
Now, he need hardwood floors. He don't want no carpet. So he gonna pay the money. Shannon Sharpe said, I'm paying the money. He don't care.
Talk about
and they got the shag carpet like used to be in them 70 vans.
I know exactly.
Damn, man, come on, Ocho.
But listen, that's why I learned how to do everything. That one in there that's sleeping, man, I'm not paying for your nails, your hair. I do all that. You let me know. I give you a schedule. You tell me when you free. I got you. You need to wax? Boom, I wax her. I do that. When it's time for her to get her nails and feet,
I ain't got no Ocho.
I do that.
Shannon said, go wax that thong. Exactly. So Ocho ain't spending no money. Ocho gonna do it himself. I'm not doing that. I'm doing all the waxing. Shannon ain't having it.
Women say,
Nah, you know what? Now that you before you go, Ocho,
yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say? I ain't paying for nothing else. Since I don't protect black women, y'all ain't getting no more of my damn money. Damn it.
Now, Shannon Sharpe snapping on black women. Since I don't protect black women, y'all ain't getting no more of my money. You ain't giving it to black women. You giving it to Becky's. I swear, he's giving it to Becky.
And what about women? What about the women? Come on, let me take my glass off because now my head hurt. Because I'm just thinking about it. Women say,
nah, you know what? Now that you before you go, Ocho,
yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say? I ain't paying for nothing else. Since I don't protect black women, y'all ain't getting no more of my damn money. Damn it.
Women say, I ain't going.
Listen, Shannon had it. Y'all ain't getting no more of his money. Since I don't protect black women, y'all ain't getting no money. Once again, throwing black women under the bus to protect the fact that you want to be with white women. You ain't got to do that. That's that psychological. People think that stuff don't work. Psychological hate. Of course it does. You watching it work. You looking at it work. They teach you to hate yourself. I'll be like, dog, your mama black. Your daddy was black. How you think you got here? I told you, this black dude from Philly talking about all he dated white women. I don't want no black woman. Ugh. I'm like, dog, you black. What you saying to your sister, your cousin, all of them? Ugh. So your mama is your auntie, your grandma, So you is So why would she want your ass? You dummy. That's mental hate. I can't stand people like that. I mean, if you have a preference that you like, that's fine. Like who you want to like, but damn, you don't have to throw black women under the bus. Black women ain't begging you to want to be with them. But see, that's genocide. That's genocide right there. And that's how it started. It started with the nonsense of self-hate. That is funny. Yep, and they both exist. I know. Hit the like button too, good people. I know y'all just got here. Please hit the like button up. Straight up. He said, I want you in my cabinet, Carcino. I will have my secretary contact ASAP. Black truck. Shannon Sharpe is auditioning for driving Miss Daisy too. Oh, now come on now, Miss Daisy. I'm just trying to get you to the store. Yeah, you come on now. Make your way here, Miss Daisy. Come on now. Yeah, I'm trying to get Miss Daisy over here to the store. Yeah, she had some things. She had to pick up some things out the store. Come on, Miss Daisy. See, Shannon, you my only friend. Oh, don't go and say that, Miss Daisy. Slow down, Shannon. You're going too fast. Oh, no, goddammit, Miss Daisy. I'm going as slow as I can. Now listen. Now you getting me mad, Miss Daisy. Now I don't want to have to choke you now, Miss Daisy. What? I can't believe you're talking like this to me. I just wants to choke the living shit out of Miss Daisy. Reports read, big old black man choke little old white woman Miss Daisy. Oh man. So Shannon was posted as flexing his wife. This is all gonna come into play here. Now he's flexing with the watch on purpose. This is Shannon Sharpe now. When has Shannon become this guy? He's never been this guy. That's not how Shannon operates. He flexing his watch as he's bragging. This is Shannon Sharpe, y'all. Flexing on purpose. This is the guy who never does this.
$50-50 with nobody. Well, if you ain't going 50-50, that means you going 100%. So you're playing everything on your goddamn own anyway. It ain't making no sense. But you got to understand the chances of you, the likelihood of you getting a guy that can afford the maintenance for everything you need and all your bills, but it's not likely. And if you do have a guy that does that, it's going to be short-lived anyway. Because you have no leverage at that point if he's doing everything for you. Yeah. You have no leverage. You have no power. Exactly. You got to be able to be bringing something to the table just to, like, oh, you want to play? Because if you got to doing everything for you, oh, he going to play with you now. He going to play with you now.
Exactly. That is exactly the point. You hear that? That is exactly the point. What Ocho said right there made a lot of sense. If you want a man, and I told women this too, you want a man to pay 100% of everything, get ready to deal with 100% of the bullshit he gonna have you do. He gonna have you on the floor, crawling on the floor, kissing his toe. And you better do it. Or else you out. Do you really want him to be 100% his way? You want him to pay 100% for everything? 100% gonna come with a lot of shit you don't want to do. You got no power. You think sex is the reward? Like, well, then he ain't gonna get none of this cookie. This is the girl. He ain't getting none of this cookie. He gonna have to pay 100% for this cookie. Really? That's all you bringing to the table? It's gonna be short-lived around here. No, he gonna pay for right now. And he gonna wear it out for about a couple months. He gonna do everything he wanna do, and then guess what he gonna do after that? I'm out. That's why all these so-called dimes, they ain't got nobody. You want me? Let me tell you about the double standard. Just a week ago, everybody was talking about Tracy Ellis Ross, Diana Ross' daughters, the one from Black. She talking about older men. They just trifling. I need a young man. And she was talking to Michelle Obama, who's married, and she ain't married, and she talking like, yeah, I need a young man and all this. Nobody criticized her. Now, one of these women said she's foul, she's bogus. Only the men were saying, man, how dare she talk about, oh, she need a young man. Oh, she'd been hoeing all these years and being all stuck up. Now she want to go date some younger man because everybody old, they done moved on. So now Shannon Sharpe is coming out with this young girl, and it's Shannon, how dare you? How old you think Tracy Ellis Ross is? Shannon's 56. She's got to be in near her 50s too. And she out there announcing she want young men. She 52. She is 52. Shannon is 56. She went out there and did an interview saying, I want young men. Shannon Sharpe says, right, Shannon Sharpe says in his relationship thing, right, Shannon Sharpe said in his whole thing of nothing, but he just put out the fact that he was in a relationship with one. Then he just sat there saying he ain't giving no black women no more money when you weren't giving them no money anyway. You giving the money to Becky or Carly. Yeah. But everybody they didn't turn on Shannon Sharpe, all the fans and all that. Shannon, look at that. That's sick. And you want that? Y'all playing race games or something she's talking about. You in there playing race games and doing all this, putting a dog collar on them, $25 a cheek. Well, it's finna get more. Remember I told you he was showing the watch off? Oh, it's gonna get more arrogant for Uncle Shay. Hold on.
You're nothing but a liability at that point. You have no leverage no more. I mean,
just men, because you cut it in half.
Yeah.
So how many people you think in the USA make 155, at least 150,000, man or woman? So now you cut it in half.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood of you running into him?
I think people a few times, but goddamn, that's it. And then you start realizing, well, I'm not getting nothing in return for the money that I'm investing outside of.
See, no, this is what look. My thing is, yes, I want to get fair compensation.
Right
now,
we all
let's
do.
see what are you willing to go? This is what I think I'm worth, and let's see how can we get. Because here's the thing about business and women and men. Look, I'm talking about. And I had a great conversation, a lot of conversation with, people, my nose. The one thing that you want to do, Ocho, and I'm going to tell people that when you get into contracts and you start dealing with, you try to get the best deal you possibly can. I've always had this, and my agent told me this way back. He said, Shannon, I would rather you take less money and then have somebody begrudgingly give you more, and it ruins the relationship. Because I've seen that happen. Oh, I won. I got everything I wanted. And then it come time, and you've damaged the relationship. So for me, what can I do with 6.5, 8 million that I can only do with 10 million? And see, that's where people go astray. 10. If I don't get no, bro. Now you do it however you want to, but I'm just telling you how I do.
Right.
Because I would rather take a little less than have somebody begrudgingly give me more, and it ruins the relationship because I've seen it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
First of all, men and women, if it's talk about dating, we're not entering into an agreement, a contract. So it's not the same thing as me trying to get a job. So if you're telling me it's a job, so tell me what she is, and I go ahead and pay her, because I ain't paying her to be with her, I'm paying her to leave.
Ooh.
If it's talk about dating,
woo! Woo! 10 million. How ironic. Shannon is finna expose all the business here. All the business is finna be exposed in this interview. This interview is gonna wind up in the courtroom. If this thing go to trial, they might play this tape in court. Well, that goes from a lot of situations. I've heard pimps say that line. It was in the movie Four Brothers. Victor Sweet says, "You don't pay a woman to F you, you pay her to leave." So that's always been the old pimp line here in Chicago for years. So this just means Shannon has seen that movie and he been living it out.
we're not entering into an agreement, a contract. So it's not the same thing as me trying to get a job. So if you're telling me it's a job, so tell me what she is, and I go ahead and pay her, because I ain't paying her to be with her, I'm paying her to leave.
Ooh. Come on.
So
now.
how are we gonna do this? Let's have real talk. You want to have real talk since you wanted to say, well, Shannon, somebody, your value. You don't set the market on your value. The market sets the market.
Ooh.
Ocho, I want to sell this cup. I want to sell this red Solo cup with water for $15.
Okay.
Nah, ain't nobody say that. If somebody gave me $15, that's what it's worth. Something is only worth what someone is willing to pay for it.
So,
and you don't say, unless you paying yourself or you buying yourself, hey, you're worth it. But y'all need to stop, ladies, y'all need to stop this. I know my value. Who set that value?
Ooh.
The market? Gold prices, the market set the price of gold. Watch, this watch, man, that watch ain't worth, okay, it's worth what somebody will pay for it. The difference is you wear your watch to tell time. I wear my watch to tell you how valuable my time is. There's a difference between the two. Stop playing with me.
Come on, man.
That's the difference.
Hey.
You telling time. I'm telling you my time is valuable. Don't waste it.
Come on now.
Man, boy, y'all done got Unc in his bag. Unc in his bag, boy. He big pimping with the watch. This sets the value. I wear this watch to let y'all know how valuable my time is. Woo, big boy flex. That's a big boy flex right there. He said the law set your accuser's cheeks at $25 million per cheek, so pay it. Man, keep his pimp hand strong. I told you, his ego was through the roof on this episode. So because of this episode right here, what was going on in the middle of this is he was going and dealing with the problems with the chick already. So when she said in the thing that he became a narcissist and his personality, we're hearing it right now. You hearing the narcissist Shannon Sharpe. Like the narcissist Lex Luger, this is the narcissist Shannon Sharpe. That Cat Williams interview went to his head. All of the success from that interview started to go to his head. He started flipping out. And when people start flipping out, it's because their ego is at an all-time high. And they on the road. They're on an absolute roller coaster road, baby. They don't have any concerns that the rest of the outside world may possess. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. They hot. So when people get hot, that's the narrative they take. That's the avenues they willing to go down. Because when you're willing to go down those lines and those lanes, that's when other people start to point the finger and say, hey, oh my God, that's crazy. Did you hear what he just said? That's how they act. And if you're willing to act like that, you're going to be willing to have people call you out, call you out your name, calling you this person, calling you that, calling you this. Shannon is telling you, and please hit the like button, good people. I know y'all just got here. Hit the like button up. The likes got to go way up. I put the goals in there for the super chat. Yes, sir. We only halfway through. Now, what everybody seems to lose focus on is the main thing that they should keep their focus on. The focus is clearly on the situation at hand. Because the situation only results in revolving around an issue that is targeted Yes, it's targeted because they want to make sure they send the perfect message to someone. Shannon Sharpe, this whole situation was not just this one woman deciding to do this. Somebody got with this person to say, hey, this is what's going to happen. We told you, don't do this. Don't put this person on TV. Don't do this. Don't do that. Because I'm here to let y'all know another secret right now. Okay? The BET is not inviting Shannon Sharpe to the 2026 NAACP Image Awards. If y'all can hear me. So I'm gonna let y'all know right now, he's not getting invited. He's not being nominated. He was nominated for Entertainer of the Year last year. This year, he will not be invited and he will not be nominated. I already know that already, but we're gonna see how everything plays out. But as of right now, Shannon Sharpe is not invited to the BET NAACP, which is happening in February of 2026. I know that already, but I'm gonna let it play out. But since y'all here and y'all my subscribers, nobody else is telling you this information. I'm telling you firsthand, that's done. Yeah. The NAACP still exists. I guess so. For award shows and dress up parties and stuff. He said, y'all thought that Cat Williams interview wouldn't have repercussions. It wasn't really the Cat Williams interview. It's not really about that. Cat Williams blew him up. It was mostly the Monique interview. There was another interview where something else was said by another person. I forgot, but it really pissed off some executives. And it caused some problems for that one person. Somebody was telling me about it before, and I don't remember it verbatim, but I'll find out the information because I don't watch every Club Shay Shay. But yeah, I try to watch the ones I can. It's weird because me and Kwame Brown was talking, and I was saying, like, you should do Club Shay Shay. Like that's gonna put it over the mark right there. That's gonna go over the hump. And he had been in contact with like Shannon Sharpe's people, like his team, not actually Shannon Sharpe. And you know, it was talks like they back to a point where they cool, you know, like everything is cordial, not like they best of friends. So they were, you know, saying like, hey, that's something that they would visit and definitely want to do. It would be a huge interview. But now, who knows what Club Shay Shay is going to look like after these interviews go through? Because I think there are 2 interviews in before all of this controversy happened. Now we got to see who's going to come in there and do interviews with Shannon Sharpe with all this controversy going on. See, that's why you got to have black comedians. But black comedians going to want to talk about the case. You know, that's what I'm saying. You got black comedians in there, they're going to be wanting to talk about the case. So it's going to be, hey, they comedians, man. That's their job. So they're going to want to talk about the case. So who's he going to have up there now? It's going to be hard to conduct these interviews on Club Shay Shay when, you know, it can end up hurting somebody else's value. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you don't want to hurt someone's value. But that's the nature of what we do. Oh yeah, we just getting cooking. We've said it, I don't know how many times, but we've said it consistently that if you go down the road and you keep going down this avenue, and definitely hit the like button, people. We got to get those likes up. Because we can't have them people thinking we're doing bots over here. I don't want Drake coming over here like he's using bots. That's the only reason anyone's paying attention is because Carcino is using bots. No, we don't need that. We need real people in here because that's who we deal with, y'all, for real. We don't need those champagne sloppy over here telling us nothing like that. Mm-hmm. He said the Black Mamba is fire. Right. I don't need champagne sloppy over here doing nothing else. Tell him to go back to hell. Now, here's the news. Shannon Sharpe, right, in my opinion, is innocent of all of these claims that this woman is trying to put on Shannon Sharpe. Innocent. And she's like, well, he threatened to choke me. And this Michelle Evans person, who this third person that came out and accused Shannon Sharpe, said he forced her to do oral and all this stuff. First of all, I never understood these forced oral things. I have not seen a forced oral. I ain't saying they don't exist, but not in this magnitude. Said, do I think Candace Owens, the unknown Candace Owens, has something to do with Shannon Sharpe being exposed? Absolutely not. But she's a bottom feeder too. So she'll jump in whenever there's blood in the water. But Shannon Sharpe is not in her demographic of going after. He has to be at a certain criteria for her to even mention. So now Candace Owens is mentioning a disgraced black man. Oh, her eyes are gonna jump up like a little puppy. That's all I think about when I see Candace Owens. She's like a little chihuahua or something. That's how they treat her too. Hi, my little Candace. Hi, my little Candace. You see any black people being bad today? Yeah, that's my Candace. So that's how, they look at her, in my opinion. She's a detractor, just like the majority of them. But Candace Owens, when she do get a sniff of the truth and bring it out, there it is. You got to be able to refute it. And see, that's what Kamala Harris couldn't do. She could not diffuse the truth. The truth in her identity, the truth in everything. Candace Owens just thinks she's smart because she read some books. And she talks really fast, so she's smart. She be sitting up there, the economic equality sensation, and everyone is talking about them. Everybody going into the day, and then they all went to the day store, and they all went by over there, and then they stopped by Walmart, and then they come from Walmart, and then they go over there to the house, and then, but where was the paper trail when he went to the house, and then he came back over there, then he had an old DVD player, but no one uses DVD players no more. Everybody's using doggone digital. So why in the world she's using that for? I think she had a PS5, but they said it was an Xbox. I really don't believe it's an Xbox. I think it was a PS5, and they were lying about that, and then they paid for it with government funds, and where did they get the government funds money from? I'd be like, will you shut up? Shut up. That's the way you treat Candace Owens. You gotta tell Candace Owens to shut up. See, she ain't been around no black men to tell her to just shut up. Is that what she needs? Shut up. See, that's, oh, now I'm a man's gonna just tell her, yeah, shut up. But shut up. And that's how you do her. You know, they don't care about right and wrong at this point. They just don't want to hear it from you. They just want you to just shut up. You just shouldn't be talking. That's how they treat Candace Owens. You mean, you want me to shut up because I'm right? No, I want you to shut up because you're annoying. Shut up. We ain't even exploring if you're right or wrong. Shut up. So that's all it comes when you talk about her. That's all it breaks down to.
Well, you preaching tonight, boy. Well, you on fire, boy.
Y'all can get up here and you stand on your soapbox and talk about I'm fine and I'm okay. But if you can't find a man that's willing to do that, that's not your value. That's not your value. And I don't begrudge. If you find a billionaire, you find a millionaire or 100,000 whatever the case may be, but you don't get to determine that. What someone is willing to pay, that's the value.
That's your value. Hey, boy, you on fire tonight, boy.
Ocho, check this out. We about to have another one.
God.
Now, here's the thing. You was willing to pay over $10 million for some huff. You set the value at $10 million when you did the negotiations, You set the price. You just said it. What's the value? Somebody got to set the price. You just set the price at $10 million when you were negotiating with that woman. You set the price at $10 million. That's how much it was worth for you to not have all this come out. Now you ain't giving her a dime. What would you be paying her for? So of course Shannon Sharpe is gonna take her to court. Why not? It's like you done exposed all this. In the middle of the negotiation, she breaks negotiations and said, hey, the hell with it. I'm finna go out here and expand. I'm finna spill the beans. So she went in and started talking. Once she did that, she exposed the business. Everything was out. So what am I paying you $10 million for? Why would I pay you anything? Now you're gonna get nothing. She already exposed the information I didn't want out. So now she gets nothing. So of course you're gonna fight it in court. And she's gonna be the one that had a chance to have $10 million negotiated in her possession, turned it down to go for $50 million and exposed all this stuff to the public. Oh, Lord. Now, What Shannon Sharpe should have done is exactly what the other lawyer said Shannon Sharpe should have did. Shannon Sharpe's lawyer took the wrong approach. What he should have done is clear. You should have went to the police. You did not want all of that information coming out, but you should have went to the police and said, hey, but you knew she recorded all this stuff, these threats, they would have arrested your ass. So I do get that too. But I would have set the double trap and let her fall into it and then let it go down as an extortion case. I would have got a PI, a private investigator. You got money now. It's time to bomb. No more ghetto Quran. You got money now. It's time to bomb. You got to play the Hollywood game, baby. You get that Hollywood fixer in there, and they go in there and make things happen. You'd have had the tape. You'd have had the files. You'd have had it all. The Hollywood fixer would have came in there when she was gone to the gym. They'd have broken the house. They'd have got the files. They'd have deleted everything off the laptop, back copies. All of it would have been gone. You got to understand who you're dealing with. Can't talk big money because you got big money. This the man with the big connections. They don't need money. They don't know how much they got. You got to understand, these people play a different game. They play the power game. You're playing a money game. Money against power don't hold up. Power always wins over money, buddy. Power over money. Where is her parents? Exactly. Where is this girl's parents? I'm quite sure they're not happy that this big 280-pound black man was pile driving their daughter and drilling holes in her. Why ain't nobody investigating that? Where's the parents that let they 18-year-old girl wild out like this? That's why they like it. Then remember Joy, who he worked with, Joy Taylor, his former co-host. She's involved in a whole. She's still on the air, and they mad at why Joy's still on the air after the lady said Joy Taylor was named in this lawsuit, talking about Joy said that she was gonna do X, Y, and Z. Like she would go in there and say that the man took advantage of her if he tries to fire her. So that was her insurance ticket. Remember she said that about Joy? And they both worked at Fox. And now they both got cases. Well, hers, she's just named in the lawsuit. And the girl said, she told me to like just go with it. And she's suing Charlie. So Joy had to step away for a minute, then come back. After 2 weeks, she's back on the show. People were outraged. Joy was able to come back, and Shannon got to go step away. But this is what he said about Joy.
And she went out with a man twice. He paid for everything, wined and dined. On the third date, they spent a day together, ordered a bunch of things, had some drinks, had a good time. Let's call it a couple $100. She had to put her card down for this particular place. So when they went to pay, he was like, oh, your card is down. And now she didn't speak up and ended up paying for the bill. They had plans for another date. He texted her the next day and was like, I don't really see a long-term future with you. I don't really want to waste either of our times. I think you're great, but I don't want to keep our date for next week that we had planned, which I think is very respectable. Most people just ghost. So she's talking to me about it and she's like, but he did stick me with the bill. I was like, what are you talking about, stuck you with the bill? How did you leave paying? I was like, just text him and say, oh, okay, well, cool. Thank you for saying that. Had a great time too. But like, here's your split for Saturday. There's no possible way he thinks that she's just paying for his presence. He got upset, did not send her the split, and in fact went and sent her the receipts for the last 2 dates.
Yeah. Ocho. So let me get this straight.
Ooh.
He pays for both two.
Yes, sir.
Nothing. She don't chime in.
Yeah.
She didn't speak up. But now, I stuck him for 2 bills. He stuck me for 1. Now
Right.
we need to go 50-50?
Oh, yeah. Listen, the game is the game. The game is
Did I
not
hear that,
changing.
chat? Did I hear that right? Am I, chat, are y'all hearing what I heard?
So, Shannon is upset about that. And I think rightfully so. And Chad is like, well, that's the game. It ain't no game. If he spent 2 dates and he spent for the, he paid for the first 2 dates, and then the third date, she paid for the third one, and then she's like, I got stuck for the bill, and you sending him for his half of the meal, and he sent her the receipts for the last 2 date meals, you gonna pay your half for those? Then don't send me that one. He said, why hire Busby if your case is legit? He's a con artist. Hey, he's a con. Hey, I believe it too. Why go on the date then? Exactly. Like, why go on the date? At least he was nice enough to do that. I try to hope the girl get frustrated and just leave. I'll be like, just leave me. Because I don't want to have to go through this again. Just leave me. I don't mind paying for the date. That was a red flag. I mean, right. If somebody's in there to get free meals or free dinner or free lunch and all this stuff, why are they doing all this? It don't make sense. You said grown folks too. Exactly, grown folks. What is the point? That dude is guilty. Of course he's guilty. What else would he be? Yeah, a woman can be a red flag too. Exactly.
$100 back on a date, that means you shouldn't
You don't need to be on a date.
place. You don't need to be on no date. You don't need to be dating at all. That's tough.
I'm just, and my thing is, Ocho, I won't start anything that I can't keep.
Of two to build a foundation based on what both $100. I mean, after the third date, you know whether you want to deal with this person long term or if you see.
Shannon Sharpe is so mad. He's sweating. Shannon Sharpe is so mad he in a chocolate sweat. That's how mad he is when he heard about that money.
See a future with them. He didn't see a future. That's okay. And if it was just a couple of $100,
look, he trying to wipe down with.
I mean, you really shouldn't need that back anyway. And if you need a couple of $100 back on a date, that means you shouldn't.
You don't need to be on a date.
You don't need to be on no date. You don't need to be dating at all. If you got to send somebody a receipt to send you back what you spent, you not supposed to be dating.
Shannon Sharpe is so hot. That boy was mad. He turned into the damn Black Hawk for real.
Because obviously, when I think of dating, it's the joining of two to build a foundation based on what both of y'all got going on.
I ain't got you. I ain't gonna get. I ain't got. No.
Yeah, shit me.
Man, look here, man. I ain't got it like that.
Look, the Europe?
Let me stop lying. Like my sister say, Shannon, stop talking about your car and pole, because you're not. You speak that into existence, you'll manifest it. I got it. I ain't got you. I ain't gonna get. I ain't got it. No. No, hell no. Hell to the no.
Hey,
nah.
I love it though. I love it, and I want everybody to win. I want women to everything they dream of. I want them to find that guy that's gonna wine and dine and continue that for years and years to come. I want those that wish they want husbands. They want the big house with the picket fence and the kids. I want everybody to have that. But at some point, we have to be realistic. At some point, we have to stop saying, I'm not gonna settle. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to at some point. You say, well, I'm gonna find a man that's gonna do it. Well, you might find a man that's gonna do it, but it's not gonna be the one you want. So basically what you're doing is you're settling.
You're settling. Everybody.
Settling.
What's the likelihood of you finding somebody that has every quality that you want?
It ain't.
Because if you don't, you settle. You gave up a little personality for a little bit more security. You settled. You gave up a personality. You gave out. You're not gonna find somebody that's gonna be every box that you got. Say you got 5 boxes and he checks them all.
That's not realistic.
Yeah,
Not realistic at all. But I want everybody to find it. Matter of fact, all the women in the chat, if you want you a rich, wealthy guy, let me know. I'm finna play matchmaker. Before Christmas time, I'm gonna have 85% of my chat dealing with those who they wish or have crushes on. I guarantee you. Let me know.
I look. I don't play no matchmaker. I don't do that, because the first time, if it goes bad,
right,
it's gonna ruin our relationship. Because you set me up with that no good, you know what, or you set me up with that.
Hold on. Now listen. You got to read the fine print and not go into things delusional. Now you want to date a rich man. You want a man with money. You understand what comes with the territory when dealing with that type. So hello, common sense. It's always been the same. The game has always been the game. Don't come in delusional. You here for one reason. Why you want a rich man? Why you want a man that got money in the first place?
But I thought you independent. You make your own money.
Shit, not that kind of
money.
You
tell me you bought your own money.
They don't make that kind of money.
Car, I got this condo.